everybody. I guess welcome to my channel. I am new to this and this is weird for me to talk to myself into a camera, but I had a few people ask me to do some meal prep videos, and I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all how I do my meal preps and just a few tricks of my own. Of course, there's a million ways to do it, but here's some of the tricks that I do to help make it cheaper and easier on me on the long run. In this video, we're gonna go ahead and talk about meat and protein that I use. I buy mine in bulk if I can help it. So something that I'll do is go to Sam's, which is great, or Costco, and they'll come in these 2 packs of ground turkey. And then I'll freeze one. You can tell this one's frozen, and then I will cook this one this week. And so that way it is cheaper in the long run. So one thing I'm always looking for is deals on meat. If I see a good deal, even if I don't need it yet, I will freeze it, because you can actually, as long as the meat is packaged correctly, you can freeze it forever. So if I see a good deal, I'll buy it anyways, just to save money in the long run. And I'll look through the grocery store newspapers that they'll send in the mail, all sorts of things. Or if I'm going through the grocery store and I don't need meat, I'll always look at the meat just in case that something's gonna expire, because if I freeze it before it's expired, then I can still use it in the future. For instance, like when I was telling you I go through the grocery store, this was $12.50 for this big piece of meat. And so I went ahead and grabbed it. It was gonna expire, and I'm actually going to be meal prepping that for us today. I did the same thing with these beef chucks. They were buy one, get one, and I actually didn't use either for this week's meal prep. I froze them both, but I just get these freezer bags and I label them so I know that what I froze. Of course, that makes it more expensive sometimes. However, in the long run, it comes out cheaper for me. Another thing that I look for is steaks. So I got these 6-pack of steaks, and I actually kept one raw, and then I have 2 steaks that are frozen for whenever I need them. And you can split them up 1 steak per bag. My dogs are playing, but this is life. I usually split them up 2 steaks per bag for me and my husband, but sometimes if you live alone, you can do it 1 per bag. The best way to freeze meat is actually get a vacuum sealer. I don't. The problem with that is it sometimes can taste like freezer burn if you freeze it for too long, but usually meat doesn't last very long in my freezer. I don't know if you saw it, I'll put the video here, but I had a huge thing of ground beef, like 10 pounds of ground beef. It was huge. So what I like to do with ground beef is I'll get that big package. The downside of buying that is you can't always get the leanest meat, but I got 90 and 10%, so not too bad. But I leave 1 raw, and then I will actually measure out a pound out of each one. And that way I just have them frozen, and I have to just thaw it for that week whenever I need them. Next is I buy a ton of chicken. I don't eat this much protein in a week. I really don't. I eat a lot, but not this much. So something that I will do is the same thing as I've been showing you with everything else. I will cut them up because I'm real picky on my chicken. And I'll actually freeze them, so I'll be doing that too for a meal prep today. But that way, if it's cut up, that's 1 less step that I have to do, and I just have to cut them all at one time. If I have to thaw them and then cut them up again, I just don't have time for that. So 1 and done, and freeze them, and that way if you need them, you can toss them in a crock pot, you can thaw them, you can do whatever you need, and they're ready to go. Lastly are my egg whites. You can get a ton of these from Sam's. They're little cartons, but they last for a long time. I bought these a month ago, and they expire on June 6th, so I still have a while. And I buy a ton of those at once. You can meal prep them. If you don't think that you're gonna eat that much eggs in a week, it's okay, neither do I. I will actually make things and freeze them. So like I have a burrito, I have a sandwich, and I have these little egg casseroles that are just frozen ready to go when I want them. So that concludes our video. Sorry if you heard a lot of background noise. There's always a lot of activity going on around here. But I hope that helped you and gave you a few tips on how to save money with your protein. I'm always looking for ways. If you know a good way, I'm always open for suggestions. And have a great day. Hope y'all are staying safe. Bye-bye, everybody.